This problem walkthrough video will demonstrate how to use Microsoft Excel to perform simple regression analysis to forecast manufacturing costs. Here's the data for our problem. The president of a small manufacturing firm is concerned about the continual increase in manufacturing costs over the past several years. The company has collected a time series of the cost per unit for the firm's leading product over the past 8 years. Complete the following requirements. A. Choose the correct time series plot. What type of pattern exists in the data? B. Use simple linear regression analysis to find the parameters for the line that minimizes MSE for this time series. What's the y-intercept? B sub 0, the slope, B sub 1, and the mean squared error, or MSE. C. What is the average cost increase that the firm has been realizing per year? And D. Compute an estimate of the cost per unit for the next quarter. Let's open our downloaded Excel data file and complete the requirements. Here's the time series data collected by the company showing annual cost per quarter over the last 8 years. Let's start by labeling some of the columns for the forecast we'll need for requirements C and D. In cell E1, I'll type forecast. In cell F1, I'll type forecast error. And in cell G1, I'll type forecast, then Alt-Enter or return to add an extra line and type error shift 6 for the little hat, then the number 2 to represent the squared error. I'll make all of these boldface, center them, and widen the columns to accommodate them. Next, I'll select columns H through L and shrink them by giving them a column width of 2. Now, before answering all of the requirements, I'll start by performing the regression analysis for requirement B. You may decide to approach this problem in a different way. To do this, we need to have the Data Analysis Toolpack installed in Excel. If you don't already have it installed, click on the File menu, then click the Options button on the lower left panel. The Options dialog should pop up, and next, click on Add-ins. Then, next to Manage, make sure you see Excel Add-ins. If you don't see it, click the drop-down arrow and select it. Then click the Go button. Then click the checkbox next to Analysis Toolpack. If it's already checked, that means it's already installed. Click OK. Now select the Data menu from the menu bar. Then in the Analysis group in the toolbar, click the Data Analysis button. The Data Analysis dialog should pop up, and scroll down until you see Regression in the list. Select it and click OK to bring up the Regression dialog box. For the Y input range, we want the unit cost data provided. In a graph, we would plot the time period on the x-axis and the costs on the y-axis. So click on the box for the Y input range, and then from the worksheet, select the cell range D1 through D33. Next, for the X input range, click on the box, and from the worksheet, select the cell range C1 through C33. Click the Labels box since our data has column headers. Next, we'll specify the output range where we want to place the regression results. Click the Output Range Radio button because we want to place the results into the current worksheet and not another worksheet or workbook. Click on the box, and from the worksheet, select cell M1. That'll be enough for the range. Now, leave all the other boxes unchecked and click OK. And presto, look at this great regression output Excel provides us. Let's select columns M through U and double-click one of the column guides to auto-size the columns. Next, let's knock off some of the decimal places for the regression statistics in rows N4 through N7 by clicking the Decrease Decimal button in the Numbers group in the Home ribbon until we have 6 decimal places. Then select the output cells in the ANOVA table O12 through R14 and decrease the decimals until we have 4 decimal places. Do the same with the numbers in the last table in cells N7 through U18. Then select cells N7 and N8 and shade those green. These are pretty important because they represent the y-intercept and slope for the regression equation, and we'll need those for our forecasts. Now we want to create a plot of our original data so we can answer requirement A. First, I'll select cells M20 through R36 and shade them green so we can place our graph here. To create the plot of our time series cost data, select cells C1 through D33 and click the Insert menu from the menu bar. Then click on the Recommended Charts button in the Charts group on the ribbon. I'll select the second line chart here and click OK, and now we have a graph. Let's move it to the shaded area I created and resize it to make it look a little nicer. I'll double-click on the title in the graph and change it to Time Series Plot. I also want to add axis titles, so click on the graph, then in the Chart Layout group on the ribbon, click the Add Chart Element button. Then click on Axis Titles, and click Primary Horizontal, and you'll add a placeholder for a title for the x-axis. Click the Add Chart Element button again, then Axis Titles, and this time select Primary Vertical to add a placeholder for the y-axis title. Double-click on the y-axis title and let's give it a title of Cost Per Unit with a $sign in parentheses. Then click somewhere else on the graph. Don't press Enter or Return, otherwise it'll add a new line to the title box. Now select the x-axis title box and give it a title of Time Period with a small t in parentheses. Now let's add some data markers. Double-click on the blue plot line and the Format Data Series panel should appear on the right. Under Series Options, click the Fill in Line button. Select Marker, then expand the marker options. Click the button next to Built-in, and then select the drop-down arrow next to Type and select a square. Now we have a complete data plot and we can answer requirement A. Now back to requirement B. We already started this by conducting the initial regression. Now we want to create our forecasts that will be necessary to compute the MSE, which is the mean squared error. Let's format the results area for our forecast calculations in cell E1 through G33 blue. I'll hide the panel on the right to give us some more working room and zoom in just a bit. We're going to use our actual data for the past 8 years to construct a linear regression-based forecast using the simple equation y equals b0 plus b1 times t, where b0 or b sub 0 is the y-intercept, b1 or b sub 1 is the slope, and t is the time period. From our regression analysis, the y-intercept was calculated in cell N17 to be 18.7853, and the slope in cell N18 is 0.4971. This means that the equation of our regression line is y equals 18.7853 plus 0.4971t. If we calculate the forecast for period 1 manually, we would take the y-intercept of 18.7853 plus the slope of 0.4971 multiplied by time period 1, which equals 19.282. To create this in Excel so we can calculate the forecast for all periods easily, click on cell E2, type the equal sign, then select the y-intercept in cell N18 and press F4 to lock it in. Type a plus sign, then select cell C2, which contains the period number, then type a multiplication sign. Then select the slope of the regression line in cell N18, press F4 to lock it in, and press Enter or Return, and you should end up with 19.2824, which is the same as our manually calculated number. Let's format this to 3 decimal places by pressing the decrease decimal button in the number group in the ribbon. Now let's copy this formula down for all the time periods by clicking back on cell E2 and double-clicking or click and drag the little green square down to cell E33. All of the forecasts for the remaining periods should be filled in. Next, for the forecast error, which is simply the actual cost per unit less the forecasted cost per unit, click on cell F2, type the equal sign, select the actual unit cost in cell D2, type a minus sign, and click on the forecast in cell E2. Press Enter or Return, and you should end up with the forecast error of $1.01. You'll notice that Excel automatically formatted this with a $sign for me because the cost per unit is in dollars. So I'll just format it as a simple number by clicking the drop-down arrow in the numbers group in the ribbon and selecting number as the format I want. The $sign should now disappear. Now I want to copy that down to all remaining periods. So click back on cell F2 and double-click the little green square to autofill. Next, we need a squared forecast error calculation, which is simply the forecast error in column F squared. Click on cell G2, type the equal sign, select cell F2, then enter the exponent symbol, Shift 6, and type the number 2 to square the error. Press Enter or Return, and you should end up with 1.01, with a lot of decimal places. Click back on cell G2 and decrease the number of decimal places using the decrease decimal button in the ribbon until you're down to 2 decimal places. You can resize the column if you like. Then click on cell G2, and double-click the little green square to autofill all of the periods. Now let's calculate the forecast for the next quarter in row 34. This would correspond to year 9, quarter 1, time period 33 in cells A34, B34, and C34 respectively. Notice that for me, Excel automatically calculated the next forecast in cell E34. If it didn't do this for you, simply copy the formula in cell E33 to E34. I'll shade cell E33 green and take it down to 3 decimal places. Now for our last steps. We need to calculate the squared errors and the mean squared error, or MSE. Type total in cell F35 and MSE into cell F36. For our total, click on cell G35, type the equal sign, then start typing sum to bring up that function. Select it or press the Tab key. For our cell range, select cells G2 through G33 and press Enter or Return to end up with 410.26. I'll shade this cell blue. Finally, for the MSE, click on cell G36, shade it green. Type an equal sign and start typing average until you see the function appear. Select it or press the Tab key, and now select the same range as for the total, cells G2 through G33. Press Enter or Return, and the MSE should be 12.82. Now we have everything we need to answer all of our requirements. For requirement A, from the options presented in the question, we can see that the plot we created resembles plot A, which shows a positively linear trend with no apparent seasonality. For requirement B, the y-intercept B sub 0 is 18.7853, the slope B sub 1 is 0.4971, and the MSE, mean squared error, is 12.82. For requirement C, the average cost increase the firm has been realizing per year is equivalent to the slope in the regression equation and is therefore 50 cents, rounded to 2 decimal places. Finally, for requirement D, the estimated cost for the next quarter is 35.19.